Hello, Noob Nation. Today, a little different. Still not Roblox. This is a game called Group-864 Training Program. It is an analog horror game based off what it said was the SCP community, and I've been interested in it for a little while. I've been meaning to play it, so now we're going to play it together. Just keep in mind this is a horror game, scary. Welcome to Group 864, new recruit. It is a pleasure to welcome you to our team. Here at Group 864, we have 3 ranks of personnel: managers, instructors, death row inmates who have graciously given a second chance at life for joining our group. This program is intended for rank 3 individuals. If anything is unclear, please ask your instructor to go over your paper waiver with you again. Okay. So I guess we're a death row inmate in this, at least. Important safety notice for rank 3 eyes only. At Group 864, safety is always our top priority. We investigate anomalies and creatures that the public must not know about. For their own good, confirm that you are aware of the following risks. While working as an R3 personnel, I may see things that human beings are never meant to see. For example, ghosts, purgatory, unending torment, and curses. If I see something unidentified, then I must remain patient and follow instructor's orders. After joining Group 864, I will not leave. Please press enter to confirm your awareness. We can't wait to get you started. Good, training can start. There are 5 core lessons at the heart of your training. For part 1, these are: Lesson 1, Awareness. Lesson 2, Be careful. Lesson 3, Dealing with stress. Lesson 4, Recreation. And Lesson 5, Hacking. Press enter to begin your training when you are ready. Those are eyes. Always know what's behind. Give me a second, I'm gonna go turn the lights on. The lights are on now. Helpful safety tips. When you see something unknown, don't approach it. Instead, report it. Report any strange noises immediately as well. Do not let anything sneak up behind you. Frequently check your surroundings if you are alone. Always maintain a clear view of anomalies, unless you are instructed to avoid eye contact. Press continue for an example safety quiz. Oh no.
This is Operative 306 from Group 864. I found a strange creature while exploring in Antarctica, and it has several horns on its head and fangs. The color of the creature is... Wait, where did it go? I've lost sight of the creature, attempting to re-establish eye contact at the moment.
Oh my. Oh. Okay. What did the operative do wrong? He did not keep eye contact. Yes, that is correct. If you are on a mission like this, never lose track of where the entity is located. Otherwise, it might sneak up on you. Every year we lose an unnecessary number of lives because our operatives don't follow procedure. Don't make the same accidents. Follow the plan. How's it done? After Operative 306 died, we sent a couple of responsible R3 individuals to clean up his mess. When they have arrived at his location, they removed the creature's horns with a chainsaw and were able to put it to sleep. Always listen to orders on your missions if you don't want to end up like 306. Horn. Its fangs. Oh. Don't worry, everything will be okay. For you. As long as you do everything right. It'll be fine. Hee hee. Lesson 2. Be careful. Next, when and where to use caution. Caution is an important tool in dealing with uncertain circumstances. That's why here at Group 864, our operatives must learn what it means to be extra cautious. In most cases, you should be able to rely on the orders of your instructors, but in some rare situations, even they cannot be trusted. If your instructor ever begins to exhibit the following symptoms, please report it immediately to a manager and stop listening to your instructor right away. Severe redness in the eyes, lifeless facial expression, foaming at the mouth, bizarre sounding voice, and or atypical requests. It is important to report these symptoms to a manager to get your instructor the medical help they may need. Okay. Don't listen to anything a creature tells you, unless you are alone and have no other choice. In northwest Minnesota, 1986, some people reported hearing screams coming from deep within the forest. Those who went to investigate never came back. After Group 864 wiretapped some of the local police calls, we had learned enough information to investigate the forest ourselves. Pay close attention to this story, because you yourself might be tasked to do a mission like this one day while at our group. There was a humanoid creature living deep within the woods that would lure people inside. When anyone got deep enough inside the woods, they would find a dead animal lying on the ground, usually a deer, and then the subject would descend from the trees and drag anything nearby underground into a tunnel that it dug. The subject would then blind its victims to the walls of the tunnels with a sticky substance, and it would gradually feed off their bodies, starting with the eyes. It was a slow death for them. The monster operated for a few years before we were finally able to put it to sleep. We had to be careful to not anger the subject, but after we covered up some of the entrance to the tunnels. But to this day, some of the victims' bodies are still deep down in those underground tunnels. You may be asked to help clean up eventually. Terrible stories from the past such as this one remind us the importance of caution. Always be cautious and listen to your orders to avoid a similar fate and to live to see another day. Your second test. Now that you understand the importance of using caution and bearing awareness, we will give you a more involved test than is last time. This test is important to understand if you could practice good caution. Now we will ask you to control the security system we've installed in a closed-off house in Arizona. The residents moved out because they claimed the house had a bad aura and that it was haunted. An undercover operative from Group 864 purchased the house from it using taxpayer money, so our group could study it further. We have boarded up all the entrances and the windows to the house, and installed a security system that you will now be using to train R3 individuals like yourself. You will be using Cam 4 to view a ghost, which is typically seen wandering around the room that Cam 4 watches. You can remotely control the security system from your computer, but use caution, because a real ghost resides there, and upsetting it could have dire consequences for you. Some operatives have reported discomfort during this test and the feeling that something was invisible touching them during the test. This is normal. Good luck. I don't like this. You are now connected to cam, feed, whatever. Please use caution. You have what it takes to join our group. In case of an emergency, notify your instructor immediately. I'm so scared right now. Nice work, new recruit. That's how we do it. According to our logs, you did not shock the ghost. That's very cautious behavior from you. There was no reason for you to shock the ghost, and you were not instructed to. We are glad you made the right decision and stayed cautious. The ghost is simply aware of your existence now, but it doesn't have much of a reason to dislike you. Please continue, operative. Note: some operatives report having intense nightmares of shadow people after this test, or sometimes they report that they saw objects moving on their own, or even under strange phenomena. Usually it only happens if they shock the ghost. Since you didn't do that, we don't expect you to experience these symptoms. But if you do, please let your instructor know. You may be asked to answer to a brief survey about what happened, purely for our own information. Thank you. The purpose of this test was to see if you have a good sense of survival skills, and it's clear that anybody with a self-preserving head about it would not anger such a ghost, as you have done. We will be excited to have you on our team soon. But it's more important to carry on now. There's much more training to do. Let's begin your next lesson, shall we? It's about dealing with stressful situations. Something we all have to face, especially here at Group 864. Lesson 3. Dealing with stress. You are biting your nails, sweating, and there's a feeling in your gut like something just isn't right. What do? Don't worry and don't fear. We are here to help. Stress can interfere with your ability to perform on missions. And here at Group 864, we will teach you how to overcome the anxiety these missions might put you through, so you can think of it clearly enough to do all the work the right way. As you know by now, we deal with things that are different from what people are usually used to dealing with, such as ghosts, physics, and toxic chemicals that can enter through the human skin on contact, slowly poisoning the body. But just because these things are different doesn't mean they're bad. Sometimes they're just misunderstood. And well, sometimes they are indeed bad. It is important to know the difference, as it can be hard to tell sometimes. Don't worry there. We will teach you. Some of these entities we deal with may appear threatening, but it's important to stay relaxed and assess the situation first. We will provide you with all the correct information about an entity before each mission, so that you may know what you are dealing with. In some cases, you may not have the necessary information to deal with an entity, in which case it is important to question the following: how it acts when you are around, what angers it, and what it does when nobody's looking. How it acts when you're around. If a creature is attempting to relax you, then perhaps it doesn't have an intent after all. But if it's intimidating you and doesn't try to relax you, even when you are visibly nervous, then be cautious of it. Perhaps it is not your friend, but instead a monster. You can avoid stress in these situations by remembering this simple quote: "That monster may painfully torture me while I'm alive, but once I'm dead, no monster can hurt me anymore." This quote should help you stay relaxed around any threatening creature during your missions. Please continue. What angers it? If you have done something that hurt the creature and it responds with anger, that doesn't mean the creature is bad necessarily because you provoked it. This is why it's important to understand what makes a creature anger, when you understanding whether it is friend or an enemy to you. Pay close attention to its temper and when it lashes out, and under what circumstances it does so. This knowledge and information will allow you to understand if it's a friend or a foe of you. What it does when nobody's looking. Equally important to the other two tips, this tip will help you understand when a creature is playing tricks on you. Sometimes it is important to consider any information about the creature's behavior when it is alone, if such information is available. Some creatures that are known to be pleasant in person have been proven to be aggressive in private. Those creatures are secretly plotting against you and waiting for the right time to strike. If the information is available, always seek it to understand what a creature acts like by itself. There also may be stressed out about the knowledge of these creatures' existence now. Many of our operatives report the same feeling as you. Don't worry. These creatures are not a threat to the American public as long as we get around are operational. Should anything go wrong, however, at Group 864, we have some plans for when the Earth is ever at risk due to an anomaly. We have several underground bunkers for safety. In the rare event that a creature is threatening the entire human race, we can rest in our bunkers and detonate 3,000 antimatter bombs that the government has secretly allowed us to keep. Flagstaff, Arizona. This event is known as Plan Z, so it's safe to say there's nothing to worry about. Don't forget, it can always get worse. Yes, as you can tell, we definitely deal with a lot of stressful things here at our group. That's okay, because somebody needs to do it, and our R3 individuals have got no other choice at this point. One more quote that will help you get relaxed is this: don't forget, it can always get worse. Now it's time to assess what you've learned. Time for another quiz, but don't be nervous. No matter how hard the next quiz is, don't forget, it could always be harder. Hey yo. This quiz may be hard, but it should be easy for someone like you. After all, you've been doing so good when you were ready. Please continue. You're facing uncertain doom. Relax and accept my fate. If your instructor is speaking languages that don't exist and foaming at the mouth, what do you do? Relax and tell any nearby manager right away. Are you aware that you are being watched? Yes. Congrats, you got an A++. You have been hard at work, and I think you deserve some time to relax now. That's why it's time to teach you about recreation here at Group 864. Please continue. We can't wait to teach you about the vacations, breaks, and recreation that we offer at Group 864. You'll feel right at home here. Yes, that's right. It's not all about work and anxiety here at our group. You are entitled to certain benefits and have the right to take 1 week of vacation per year. We will explain to you your benefits here at Group 864 in this lesson. All rank 3 personnel are allowed 1 week of vacation time per year. All vacations must be monitored by instructors or managers at all times. All vacations are to be held within designated underground bases, which are designed specifically for Group 864 vacations. Any employee who does not follow the above rules will be subjected to punishments. Please continue. Each R3 personnel is allowed one 30-minute break per 24-hour workday. If anyone takes a break of more than 45 minutes or less than 15 minutes, they will be subjected to severe punishments. I really don't know what could be worse than death row. But with what I've been seeing, this is worse than death row. All recruits are allowed to use our free of charge basketball court no more than 1 day per week. You'll be provided with several basketballs and free tap water. Note, please do not complain about the conditions of the basketball court. Please do not say things like, it's falling apart, or it's unsafe, or the water is discolored and smells bad. Anybody who strategizes such as those will be considered subject to punishments. Please continue. Also, as a note, we record all of our basketball games and rewatch them in private for research purposes, and we count how many points you get during each basketball game. Whoever gets the most points gets a free glow-in-the-dark water bottle. Anybody who does not follow our recreation rules will be sent to the smile room to receive their justice. You get what you deserve, brother. If you ever end up here, don't forget to smile. You will comply with us. Anyways, now that you understand the importance of complying to our strict recreation rules, we can talk to you about our favorite part of the job, lunchtime. Please continue for a sample menu of the food we serve here at Group 864 lunches. Here at Group 864, we have a wide variety of food and snacks to choose from. focused on nutrition to help you perform your difficult job's tasks. Prepared by our finest chefs, you will always be begging for more, or else. Here's a brief look at our expansive menu. Dried mystery meat. The fun part is, you'll never know what you get. 103 dead fruit flies in a bowl. Axolotl legs, salted or unsalted. Leftover lab rats may carry diseases if undercooked. A bowl of unsweetened lemons or expired pasta mixed together. And tapioca pudding. Arguably worse than everything else listed above. These are the lunch containers that we have at my school. They're not that bad. We also have some additional options for people with food allergies. Here are allergen-free menu. Dried and stuffed slugs, mostly free of peanuts. Rusted metal shredded on a chocolate cake. Edible enough. Skunk burger, free of gluten. Doesn't that all sound delicious? Don't say no. You aren't allowed to. Now I think it's time we get to concluding your training, operative. But first, there's a few more things we would like to go over with you. Don't worry, I know you are anxious to get out there and start your new job as an R3 operative, but it will have to wait just a few more lessons. Please continue with your instructions when you are ready to move on. The most frequently used noun in the English language is time. Isn't that haunting? Well, that's just because there's never enough time until we all become equals in the great beyond. It's only a matter of time until we are all brought into the light as one. And sometimes time can fly, and an hour is gone in a minute. But here at Group 864, we keep track of time for you, so you don't have to. Don't worry, time will never fly by again. Here at Group 864, every second will feel just like an hour. Every 15 minutes there's a blaring alarm that goes off in all of our break room facilities to help our operatives keep track of the time, since you are not allowed to own clocks. The alarm is so loud it may shake your bed and wake even the heaviest of sleepers. That way you know when it's been 15 minutes and you are allowed to leave the break room. And know when it's 30 minutes and you are suggested to leave, and when it's 45 minutes and you are going to be punished for being late. The blaring loud sirens are intended to keep our operatives alert and to be sure they aren't late when returning from their breaks. It's possible the alarm may cause damage to your hearing abilities. If this happens, please tell your instructor and he can assist you restoring your hearing using our innovative brain surgery. We can install hearing aids inside of your skull that will communicate directly with your brain. That way we can hear all of the proper messages, and we can filter out any inaccurate information you may hear from fellow recruits. It's time for what you've all been waiting for, the final lesson. Hacking. Please continue, recruit. We can't wait to have you on your team after this lesson. No quiz? We must teach you about hacking because our reliance on computerized systems. We are prone to adversaries attempting to access our devices without authorization. Therefore, it is essential that we inform you about the techniques they use and how to combat these bad actors. Please continue. If you ever hear rumors that's about someone hacking one of our computers, report it immediately to a trusted manager, and we will contact you in a few weeks' time to update you on the situation and ask of any additional information. There are some files on our computers that contain sensitive information about our programs, which cannot be leaked at any and all costs. It is your duty as an R3 personnel to protect our information and not to let it fall in the wrong hands. Please do not talk to anyone who claims to be from Group 621. This is a hoax group. They have tried to contact our recruits on our computers in the past and spread false information about our group. Please do not ever respond to Group 621. If they contact you, notify your instructors if such a thing is to happen. Ever. Any file that claims to be from Group 621 cannot be trusted. It is malware. Do not open the file or look at the file. Do not read any information on the file and report it immediately. Do not delete the file. We want to keep it for our records. If you see any file such as that, we will now educate you on various methods that hackers have compromised our data in the past. Be sure to report any instances of hacking that you can see at GROUP-864. Our data is highly sensitive and cannot be shared with anybody. Do not share any information about GROUP-864 with anybody besides instructors and managers at any time. Please continue. Everybody is prone to accidents, and sometimes allowing for code injection can be a small accident with big consequences. What is code injection? It's when invalid data is processed, which can allow for adversaries to run code on our machines. Here's an example of when a man named Joe hacked us. All of our recruits had chose a new name that was only 3 letters long, but any text entered after the 3 letters maximum was being executed on our computers. When Joe entered exit app after the maximum number of letters, it caused the exit app command to run, which allowed Joe to exit out of the only program he was allowed to use, and he could access our desktop's computer and look at all of the files. Beware of code injection and report it to anybody who you see using it or attempting to. It is unauthorized access of our systems, and it is not okay. And now it's time for the final quiz. You've learned a lot about your training journey, and your training is almost over. After the quiz, please call your instructor over to your desk, and your instructor will review your results and determine if you are ready to join our group. The final quiz. Please answer the following question. If I see hacking, I must do what? Report all hacking. Do not report any hacking to anybody. Keep it a secret. Good. You finished. Please continue. Congrats. Your training and quiz is completed. Your results are being analyzed. Please call your instructor over to the desk and then please continue. Training is completed. Great work. Please ask your instructor to provide you their ID number, and when ready, continue. Enter instructor's ID number, 4-digit maximum. Where am I supposed to find an ID number? What if I... I did not expect that to actually work, but wow, okay. Internet files, secret files, or internet browser. Secret files. Nope. Okay. Group 621 believes they can reason with the creatures, but we must not allow them to reveal the truth to our recruits. Operative 384 didn't deserve what happened to him, but we had to do it since he left us no other choice. We talked to Instructor 1107 about the latest breach of security, but he pretended he didn't know what happened. We'll have to punish him for this too. They think they are smart, but they don't know anything. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't be here.
Oh.
Leave now. You shouldn't be here. Leave now. Go. Go. Go.
This is operative.
What is what? Okay, I'm going to go through all of this again, and at the end I'm going to answer 1107. Okay, back here, and I'm going to enter 1107. That was the instructor's ID number. It worked. Please speak to your instructor regarding part 2. Great work. Once again, just so impressive. You really did great work out there, recruit, and now it's time to get you started with us. How fantastic will that be? You're going to love it here. Or else. Thank you for completing your first training module at Group 864. The end. There's definitely something fishy about this. What if I go back and I get every question wrong? Maybe I'll record a part 2, some other time. Anyway, that's going to be all for today, Noob Nation. I will see all of you soon. Thank you for doing this experience with me.